All right, first deal. So reminder, you're basically just playing the notes of an A minor chord and then notes of a G chord. Fingering for the G chord part, you're going to be using the same fingers you'd be holding for all of that. The A minor part, the only exception is going to be you have to use your index finger again when you get up to that G string, which actually, now I think about it, it's not really an exception at all because that's exactly what you'd be doing in the bar chord. So the same fingers you would use holding that A minor chord used the whole time here. Same thing for the G chord. Yeah, so one of the tricky things for all three of these is maintaining the down, up, down, up, down, up, down the whole time, because a lot of these things are going to be very well suited for sweep picking, but we're not working on that yet. So be careful. Be careful of how the picking goes. But here we go with the usual 3 speed, 60, 100, 140. And, take your time getting all these up to 140. And especially with that third one, as challenging as that could be, just if you don't get to 140 with it, hopefully you don't beat yourself up. Because I know it's going to be a challenge. It's supposed to be. But, just stop at 140 like you have been. But, if you don't get all the way up there, that's okay. Just get it as solid as you can. That's going to be the most important thing. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to play a chord there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. You may have noticed my thumb keeps coming back or up over the top, back and forth like that. Especially on that highest note. That's to make sure all those other strings are muted. Is the right hand doing some muting? Yes, but I want some added assurance that I'm not going to have a bunch of junk ringing out. So if you can do that, that's great. So get you that thumb come over the top there, because it's much easier to mute something like this than this if you're like jumping around and whatnot. Anyway, so this part, first half, arpeggiating an E minor add flat 9. So you're using your 4th, 2nd, and 1st fingers. And then your second half here, bars 3 and 4, you are arpeggiating an F major add 9. So here you're using 4th, 3rd, and 1st fingers. One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. One, two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Weak pinch harmonic. Alright, now the funky one. Definitely something worth memorizing here. Basically, trying to look at the patterns that happen. So basically that first bar, it's kind of doing that shape there. 5, 6, and 7 are being used. For the second shape, it's kind of going between that. So basically the 5, 6, 8, and then the 8 goes down to the 7, and back to the 8, back to the 7. So that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. So the first bar, just those frets, and then second bar, those frets keep getting used, but I change between the 8 and the 7. And then for the third bar, basing it off of this octave here, and then just going down to the note below the octave on the high E string, and then back up. And then you're basically doing the same thing here. You do same fingers, same distances between your notes. You're just taking this and moving that up a whole step, also known as 2 frets. So yeah, memorizing the patterns is going to be helpful for this guy. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's more like it. That's the kind of pinch harmonic I want to get. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Really, that's a very friendly spot for me. But over here, terrible. That's better. Same note, different spot. Kind of works better. Man, my low E string is just, it's not being friendly with me. What the heck? Alright, 140. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Good thing I practiced that before starting the video. Paid off. Fans see that. Yeah, that was... I knew that one was going to be tricky for me, so I made sure I practiced it first and then did the video. So, yeah. So, I think you said you were... the fourth bar from last week, that second exercise was the trouble thing. And you did repeat it several times. I mean, so that's... So let's say this bar is the most challenging for you. So really up the repetitions for it. So like, you know, let's say you get it to by itself up to 120 beats a minute, and then things start to feel shaky. So drop it down to 100 beats a minute, and then Repeat it twice. Repeat it 3 times, 4 times, 5 minutes straight. Really drill the hell out of it. So why 100 beats a minute? So I used 120 as an example. So it starts to fall apart at the 120. Well, I like to back things off by like 10 or 20 beats a minute. So back down to where it's close to where you have it in control, close to the max speed. I'm going to try and word this better. You want to reduce the speed you're working on to a point where you're close to the speed it falls apart, but still a speed you have control over. And then you stay there for a long period of time. I call that sub-maximal volume training. Very much like weightlifting stuff, where you do a lot of training that's close to like a 1 rep max, but something you can control and do quite a large amount of volume with, and then that can help translate to bigger lifts. Anyway, so just same thing happens with speed playing and whatnot. You stay a long time at a speed that's close to the max but not quite. It definitely helps in pushing things faster. So if you have any questions with that, let me know. But I believe that covers everything. And yeah, I will see you next week.